The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is one of the world's most enduring tragedies. Despite international efforts and countless rounds of negotiations, a just and lasting peace remains elusive. A key aspect of this conflict is the role of Arab countries. While they share cultural and religious ties with the Palestinians, their support has often fallen short of expectations. For Palestinians, the struggle is about fundamental rights, self-determination, an end to occupation, and a viable state of their own. However, the reality on the ground tells a different story. Settlements expand, violence erupts, and Palestinians face daily hardships. Understanding the Arab world's position requires a nuanced approach. Each country has its own internal dynamics, foreign policy priorities, and calculations regarding the Palestinian issue. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is deeply intertwined with the history of the Arab world, stretching back over a century. From the early days of Zionist migration to Palestine, Arab countries have been involved, their level of engagement fluctuating over the decades, influenced by regional politics and global dynamics. The 1948 Arab-Israeli War, resulting in the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, marked a turning point. It cemented the Palestinian refugee crisis and fueled resentment towards Israel across the Arab world. The creation of the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO, in 1964, provided Palestinians with a unified political voice, but also exposed divisions within the Arab world regarding the strategies for achieving Palestinian self-determination. Some Arab nations supported armed struggle, while others advocated for diplomatic solutions. The Oslo Accords in the 1990s, while hailed by some as a breakthrough, were met with skepticism by others. The accords aimed to pave the way for a two-state solution, but their failure to deliver tangible results for Palestinians led to disillusionment and a resurgence of violence. The hopes for peace were dashed, and the conflict continued to escalate. Today, the Arab world's relationship with the Palestinian issue is characterized by a complex mix of historical baggage, political calculations, and evolving social perspectives. The struggle continues to shape the region's politics and society. The situation in Palestine in 2025 remains dire. The Gaza Strip, densely populated and impoverished, has endured years of blockade and recurring conflicts. The West Bank faces the expansion of Israeli settlements, further fragmenting Palestinian land and diminishing the prospects for a contiguous, viable state. Human rights organizations have documented systematic discrimination and human rights violations against Palestinians. Restrictions on movement, access to resources, and political participation are commonplace. The recent escalation of violence in Gaza has only exacerbated an already desperate situation. The two-state solution, once the cornerstone of peace efforts, appears increasingly distant. Section 4. The Arab World's Dilemma, Internal Struggles, and External Pressures. To comprehend the seemingly hesitant stance of Arab countries towards Palestine, it is crucial to understand the internal and external pressures they face. Internally, many Arab states grapple with their own challenges. These include fragile economies, social unrest, political transitions, and security threats. These pressing domestic concerns often overshadow foreign policy issues, including the Palestinian cause. Externally, the geopolitical landscape plays a significant role. The influence of global powers, particularly the United States, exerts considerable sway on the actions of Arab states. The rise of new regional players and ongoing conflicts have further complicated the situation. Section 5. A Tale of Two Narratives, Public Sentiment versus Government Policy. A striking aspect of the Arab world's relationship with Palestine is the disconnect between public opinion and government policy. While Arab populations express strong solidarity with the Palestinian cause, their governments often adopt a more cautious and pragmatic approach. Across the Arab world, public opinion polls consistently show overwhelming support for the Palestinian people. However, this popular sentiment is not always reflected in the actions of Arab governments. Several factors contribute to this disconnect. Some Arab regimes prioritize their own survival and stability over foreign policy activism. Economic and strategic considerations often trump ideological commitments. Section 6. Case Studies, Refugees, Condemnations, and the Price of Peace. To illustrate the complexities of the Arab world's relationship with Palestine, it is helpful to examine specific examples. These examples shed light on the multifaceted nature of the issue and the various dimensions involved. One such case is the Palestinian refugee issue, which remains one of the most enduring and contentious problems in the region. Since 1948, millions of Palestinians have been displaced from their homes, with many seeking refuge in neighboring Arab countries. This mass displacement has had profound and lasting impacts on both the refugees and the host nations. The presence of Palestinian refugees has strained resources, fueled social tensions, and at times posed security challenges for host countries. These challenges have often led to complex political and social dynamics within these nations. Another illustrative example is the Arab League's response to Israeli actions. The League has consistently voiced strong opposition to Israeli policies. While the Arab League has historically condemned Israeli policies and advocated for Palestinian rights, its actions have often been more symbolic than substantive. This has led to criticism and questions about the effectiveness of their stance. The normalization of relations between some Arab states and Israel presents another layer of complexity. This shift has introduced new dynamics and considerations into the already intricate landscape of Middle Eastern politics. Section 7. Looking ahead. The future of Palestine in a turbulent region. As of 2025, the future of Palestine remains uncertain. The region is fraught with complexities that make predicting outcomes challenging. The ongoing conflict, the lack of a clear political horizon, and the shifting regional dynamics paint a complex and concerning picture. The peace process has stalled, and new alliances are forming, further complicating the situation. The Arab world, despite its historical and cultural ties with Palestine, faces its own set of challenges that impact its ability to effectively support the Palestinian cause. Economic hardships, political instability, and social unrest are prevalent. The rise of new regional powers, the persistence of old conflicts, and the increasing involvement of external actors have created a volatile and unpredictable environment. These factors contribute to a landscape where long-term solutions seem elusive. In this context, Arab countries are likely to continue grappling with the difficult balance between their own national interests and their commitment to Palestinian self-determination. This balancing act is fraught with diplomatic and domestic challenges. The disconnect between public sentiment and government policy is likely to persist, potentially fueling frustration and instability within Arab societies. This discontent could lead to further protests and demands for change. Moving forward, it is crucial to recognize the multifaceted nature of the Arab world's relationship with Palestine. Understanding these complexities is key to navigating the future and seeking pathways to peace and stability.